So now we can create, read, update, and delete our tracks. Now let's add the ability to like tracks. So this should be pretty straightforward. Like our update track and delete track buttons, like track is going to be a component that users can click to like or upvote a track that they like. But one caveat is that we need to add some additional logic to only allow users to like an individual track once. So there will be 3 steps to this. We'll create the button itself, we'll add the like track mutation, and we'll prevent users from liking an individual track multiple times. So to accomplish this, let's take a step back and think about what this like track component needs, what data it needs to do the things that we mentioned. First of all, to like a given track, we just need to know the individual track ID. Second, in addition to displaying the button, to be able to like a track, we want to display the like count, the number of times that a track has been liked in total. So like track needs to have 2 values, the track ID and the like count. So to pass data to like track, we need to head back to our track list component, and we'll find where we're displaying like track and create a prop called track ID set to track.id, and we'll create a like count prop. Like count is going to be an integer, and to count the number of likes that a track has, we can get that from taking track.likes, and remember that likes is an array, and we can count the number of elements within this array by saying track.likes.length. Now let's find like track within our track subfolder. We'll uncomment our components. We'll import the mutation component as well as GQL. And first of all, underneath the component, let's write our mutation. We're going to call this the create like mutation. To create a like, we just need the track ID, so we'll declare that variable as an int and required. The name is create like. We'll pass in the value to our track ID argument. Then from create like, we'll get back individual track data on this track subfield. So from the track, we'll return the ID, and then to get the updated like count, we'll grab likes, and since we just need to get the length, we'll add just the ID field on that. Then we'll return within like track the mutation component. We'll add our create like mutation to our mutation prop. For variables, for the variables object, we'll just jump ahead and add our track ID. So we'll make sure to destructure track ID and like count from props. Then in our render props function, in the parameters, we'll get access to create like. And from this function, we can immediately return an icon button. This button will have the class name classes.icon button, and within it, we'll first display the like count, and then to the right of it, we'll display a thumb up icon with the class name classes.icon. And we'll save both track list and like track, and we'll see how that looks. So great, now we have our button, but notice that when we click on it, our track expands, the expansion panel expands. What's happening is that by default, when we click on the expansion panel, it'll open up. So everywhere on the panel, it's registering a click event, and in order to disable it within the confines of our icon button, we need to do an operation called stop propagation. We want to stop propagation of this click event, and we want that to happen when we click on the create like button. So now let's add on the button itself an onClick, and we'll grab from it the event. And instead of creating a separate function outside of our return, we're just going to open up a set of curly braces and then say event.stop propagation, so that when we save that and click on our create like button, we see that it doesn't open our expansion panel. And obviously when we click on the button, we want to create a like. So we'll take create like and execute it right here. And once again, we'll add onCompleted to our mutation to get access to the data that's returned from a successful create like. So now let's try liking an individual track. So I'll open my console and I'll try liking this first one. We see that our like counts immediately updated after executing it. We didn't have to use refetch queries or anything, and we got our returned data in the console.